Ever been bombarded with pop-ups, faced a frozen browser, or dealt with the dreaded blue screen of death? These security issues can cripple your productivity and leave you feeling helpless. But what if you could fix them yourself? In this video, we'll show you how to troubleshoot and solve the most common Windows security problems, from pop-ups and browser redirects to slow performance and system crashes. Ready to take control of your PC's security? Let's dive in. Troubleshoot security issues. Imagine yourself working on your computer when suddenly dozens of pop-ups appear on your desktop. The first reaction is to click on them to close them. But unfortunately, when you close one, many others come back. It is in these moments that one might wonder if his PC is up to date in terms of security. As an IT support technician, you must have the ability to diagnose security issues. In this course, we'll cover several security-related issues, and we'll also look at how to solve them easily. And let's start with those famous advertising pop-ups that invade our screen. This problem is often caused by a malware infection. This is a fairly simple problem to fix, as you won't be forced to restore the system. You should know that the ads that appear all day long, whether they are pop-ups or directly in your internet browser, well, they are adapted to your own profile. That is to say, all you have to do is do a little research for a vacuum cleaner, and you will be offered thousands of them all day long, even if we can say that it's relevant advertising. The problem is that it pushes us to consume. For this reason, the use of an advertising identifier should be prohibited. Here are the steps to remove relevant advertising. To get started, click on the Start button and then click on the small cogwheel to access your Windows operating system setting. Then on Privacy, and this is where you can disable the ads option that is based on your app activity. Now, if it's more intrusive pop-ups that you have, then you'll have to install a small piece of software that blocks these ads. Browser redirect. Let's move on to another phenomenon, which is browser redirect. A malicious program is capable of modifying the web page you want to view. And even without having a virus on your PC, while surfing the internet, the site can voluntarily redirect you to another address or display pop-up messages. Here are the steps to follow to avoid unsolicited website redirects and the display of their pop-up. First of all, you must start by checking that your browser is up to date, i.e., that you are using the latest version. Let's take the example of Google's Chrome browser. You will have to go to its settings, then go to Privacy and Security, then click on Site Settings, and on Pop-up and Redirects. And this is where you will have to check that the default behavior does not allow sites to send you pop-ups and nor to use redirects. Security alerts. Now, let's move on to the problem of security alerts. Imagine that you are on your computer, browsing quietly, when suddenly you receive an alert asking you to urgently click on the window that has just opened to repair your computer. You have to be very careful about this kind of alert, which is a very common way to get you to click in order to get you to install malware. For this type of problem, well, I would say, the solution is you. You must be aware of the need to recognize the relevant errors and those that are not. You have to keep in mind that any operating system will not force your hand to install any tool urgently. So, here's what you should avoid doing. Never click on links if you don't have any information. Never agree to install software that you don't know. And avoid, at all costs, clicking faster than your shadow on unknown windows. Slow performance. Now, let's see the symptoms that would cause slow performance of your PC. If your PC take time to get started, or that applications take a long time to launch, then it could come from either a problem on your hard drive or a malware that makes a mess. To diagnose a slowness problem, you can go to the Task Manager by right-clicking on your Windows taskbar and by going to the Performance tab. If it's the hard drive, well, a simple defragmentation would solve this slow problem. And if it's malware, then you need to install an antivirus to be able to run a scan and eradicate this virus. Internet connectivity problem. Let's move on to the problem related to the internet connection. Imagine that you are at work, and after having troubled all your customers and bypassing the company's proxy, you decide to watch a small series quietly, when suddenly the image freezes and your browser mills in the void. Looking at the notification bar at the bottom right, you don't see anything suspicious, i.e., no loss of network connection. Then, what to do in this case? And above all, where do you start? First, launch the command prompt by typing CMD in the search bar windows. Run the ipconfig command and read the IP address of your default gateway. As for me, as I'm at home, it's my internet box, which is 192.168.1.25p4. In fact, the default gateway is usually a router that can connect to multiple networks, whose main function is to route traffic between these networks. To continue, you can try ping your default gateway. On my side, I have to run the command ping 192.168.1.254. If the ping is successful, it's because it's not due to a hardware problem or a disconnected cable. What you could do is reset your IP settings to see how it goes. To do this, nothing could be simpler. Type the word network into the Windows search bar and open the Check Network Status menu. Then, you will only have to click on Network Reset to restart your network connection, and therefore, the internet connection. And if the problem persists, well, try connecting to the internet with another browser. If it works, well, you need to do a good cleaning on your default browser. That is to say, to delete all the history, or even outright clean the computer and restore the default settings of your browser. System crash. Let's talk about the famous blue screen of death, what is called a BSoD, blue screen of death. There are several reasons for this type of screen to fall on you. Like what? It could be from a recent update of one of your drivers that went wrong. Or, if to be even more protected, you have installed 2 antivirus programs at the same time. While it is strongly discouraged, it can happen too because you're running out of space on the hard drive that contains the operating system. By the way, Microsoft recommends a minimum of 100 megabytes at all times. The problem may be caused by an overheating of one of your components, like your graphics card or RAM sticks. And of course, it can also come from a virus, which would have damaged your hard drive or memory. As for the solutions, well, there aren't that many. In any case, much less than the causes, you have the option to restore the system to a date when there was no problem, or reinstall all of your drivers, for example, those of the graphics card. You can also, if you didn't have one, install an antivirus and run a scan. And finally, the ideal is to go back to the source of the problem by noting the error code of the blue screen and by doing an internet search. System update failure. And the last problem we're going to see for this first part is that of system updates, which can't be done. Because if you've caught a virus, the first thing this malware will do is block updates to your operating system and antivirus software. Which is logical, because the malicious person who designed this virus does not want to be destroyed by a simple update, which would certainly correct the flaw through which it entered. Well, there are not 36 solutions. The best thing to do is a system restore.